Hello and welcome to the IndieCommerce video documentation on creating a page in Drupal 7. Keep in mind this information is intended to be used in conjunction with the written documentation on the same subject found in the IndieCommerce Help Center on bookweb.org. Just navigate to bookweb.org and in the top green menu bar you'll see e-commerce and ebooks, IndieCommerce, and IC Help Center. In this video we'll be looking at creating a page, and while we're at it, we'll also add a link to the main menu that leads to that page. Of course, if we're going to be doing anything with the website, we'll need to be logged in so we can see the admin menu bar at the top of the site. Since we'll be creating a page, which is a piece of content, we'll navigate to the Content tab, then to Add Content, and finally to Page. This gives us an empty, editable page. As we move down the page, looking at the different tools available, keep in mind that most other content types have the same tools, so when we're done with this, you'll also be familiar with creating an event, or product, or book page. The first thing the system will ask for is a page title. The title will be used by Drupal in several ways. It will be used as the title on your browser window. It will be displayed as the header on the page itself, and some form of it will be used to create the URL for the page. You'll notice that the title field has a little red asterisk next to it, indicating that the field is required. There is also a checkbox that you can use to exclude the title from appearing at the top of the actual page. The next field is the body. And as you can see, it's a large text box with a standard WYSIWYG, or what you see is what you get editor. The editor includes a lot of formatting buttons that you're probably familiar with, but if you're not sure what a particular button is for, just hover over it to see what it is. You can add images, insert tables, create links, align your text, etc. At the top of the text field, you'll see a link that says Edit Summary. On its own, the body will be the information, text, and images that appear on the page itself. But if the page is promoted to the front to act as your home page, Drupal will automatically truncate the body information to offer a shorter version of the page on the front. By clicking the Edit Summary link, you can separate the body and the summary and treat them as two separate fields. This way, the summary can be the exact same information as the body, or it can be a completely different set of text and images. In this case, we'll leave the summary as a truncated version of the body. At the bottom of the body field is a link that says Switch to Plain Text Editor. This will remove all of the formatting buttons and leave an empty text field. This is useful for pasting straight HTML code, for instance, if you're embedding an email sign-up widget or a video from YouTube. Again, we won't be using that here. There is a drop-down menu of different text formats and a corresponding link to additional documentation on those formats, which we encourage you to look into. Below the body field is a book list tool. This is used to add books to a page that people can drop into their shopping cart. Just put an ISBN in the field and click your cursor outside of the field. You'll see a little Ajax tool run, and if the information for that ISBN is in the database, the system will pull up all the relevant information and post it with an Add to Cart button. Using the WYSIWYG editor next to the title, you can add your own description or review, and by clicking the box at the top here, you can arrange for that review to appear on the actual product page for that book. At the bottom of the book list tool is a button that you can use to add another item, and you can keep adding as many items as you need. However, we respectfully submit that about 20 titles is probably the upper limit for a book list on a single page. Below the book list tool is a file upload tool. Some stores have used this to post a PDF of a registration form for a particular event. If you upload a file, the file itself will not appear on the page. Instead, customers will see a link and they'll need to click on it to have their own document reader open it for them. And finally, we have a list of publishing links. Menu settings allows you to create a menu link, and we'll be using that in a little bit. The book outline we're not going to get into right now. In Drupal parlance, a book is a collection of virtual pages that are all brought together under a parent page. In this case, we're just creating a single page, so we won't need that here. Revision information allows you to create several versions of a page, so you can revert to an older version of the same page. URL path settings allow you to dictate the exact address of a page. Drupal will create a URL based on the page title, but let's say you've given the page a very long title and thus a very long URL. You can use the URL path settings to create a shorter address for the page. Meta tags can be used to help search engines find your pages. There are a lot of options here, too many to go over in this video, but please feel free to explore and try things out. Authoring information automatically posts the username of the person who created the content, as well as the time and date of creation. This information can be removed from the page display by going to Structure, Content Types, and Page. From there, you can choose the authoring information and use the checkbox to either allow it to appear or cause it not to display. And finally, the publishing options. When you create a piece of content, it is automatically published, meaning it can be viewed by anyone on the site. If it is unpublished, it can be accessed by a store administrator, but will not be visible to any customer. Promoted to front page allows you to create a page and have it display as your home page. And then finally, sticky at top of lists means that if you promote several pages to the front, you can arrange for one of those to take the top spot on the front page and not be moved out of the way by other promoted pages. So, let's put all this together. I have some content that I have prepared, and I do recommend that you compile your content elsewhere. I generally use Notepad to put all my information together. So, I'm going to grab some information here, and we'll put a page title in. Then I have some information for the body. And we'll just paste that here. There we go. Okay. Now we can use our formatting buttons here to make that bold, increase the size. Something like that. And I'll use this to make the rest of it bold. There we go. And then we'll show you the book list tool. We just drop our ISBN in the field and click outside of the field to see the little Ajax tool run. And then all the information is pulled up, including the cover. And again, it will be presented on the page with an Add to Cart button. And again, using the little WYSIWYG editor next to the title, I can paste my own review here. Again, using the WYSIWYG formatting. I'll just make that bold. There we go. And I'm also going to make this review appear on the actual product page for this book. That means that no matter where a customer finds this book, even if it's in a book search, they'll still see that it is a reviewed book of mine. In this case, I won't be adding another item, and I won't be uploading a file here. I do want to provide a menu link, So if I check the box, the system will ask me for a little bit of information. Now, this is a very long page title. That's not what I want here. Instead, I want my menu link title to say something else. This will be my Thoughts and Revelations newsletter. Now this will automatically appear in the main menu, which is where I want it to be. Now I'm going to come down to my URL path settings. And in this case, again, I don't want that long title, that long page title, to be used as the entire address of the page. So here, I'm just going to call this newsletter. And finally, under my publishing options, I'm going to promote this to the front page, and I'm going to make it sticky at the top. And I'm going to go ahead and save this. Once the system saves the page, it will automatically display it to you, just like that. Now this is the page itself, but if I go to my front page, you can see, again, this is a truncated version of the information that appears on the actual page. And here is the link that we created. Thoughts and Revelations newsletter brings you to all of the information for that page. And down at the bottom, we have our book list with our saleable book and my own product review.